Three, two.
Matt Anthony Ants, welcome back to the show, sir. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, Belly. Good, man. It's been a minute since I've been here. The place looks great. Every time I come back, it's a little step up, a little more. So I'm doing good though. Happy to be home for the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Jeff right before you got here. I was like, we got the ice jam coming up in January, and if it were up to me, I'd want it to start tomorrow. I just want to get back into it. I'm not a big sit down, and I love family and I love resting, sure, somewhat, but I just wish we could just get right into it. How do you feel like with the break? Do you wish you could just go, or do you need it?
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely a little bit of a break is needed. Like I've been in the rink every day since the 1st of August. You get it's obviously a grind. So getting a few days off, but here I am. The first day I got back, I was on with East Hants Minor Hockey for 3 hours, and then last night I went to the Truro game to check out one of our prospects. So I haven't really stepped away from the rink, but yeah, it's good to get home for a couple days, but definitely excited for the second half of the season.
It's not a rest. It's like
reset.
Get out of the routine.
Kind of a reset. Yeah.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. It's good. It's
Yeah.
a reset. I just can't sit still. I gotta try to do something. I just can't sit.
Yeah.
It's tough. But no, congrats on everything. 4 years. I know you're the intern head coach for a bit. That must have been a really cool experience for you. And being with Cape Breton in that organization and being so close to home, having friends around. I don't know. Has the past 4 years flown by? Is that correct? 4?
This is my fifth now.
Fifth. Okay.
Yeah.
The hockey DB said 4, but you're in 5.
Yeah, they haven't updated this season yet, so I think
I looked at a Matt Anthony. It said you played for the Windsor Spitfires.
Yeah, that's
like,
that's the goalie.
I know.
There's a goalie by the same name. I actually got a few pieces of fan mail last year, the year before, from the autograph seekers and stuff that send cards to the boys.
But it says underneath assistant coach for Cape Breton, so that's why.
So they put the wrong guy in. Yeah. But I get mixed up with him quite a bit. He actually played in Yarmouth for a year or two, and then played at Dal, so he's got some East Coast ties.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him, but we definitely get mistaken for each other a little bit on the hockey DB.
But yeah, how the past 5 years been? Quickest 5 years of your life? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no, I guess. Obviously with COVID, kind of slowed it down a little bit, but it's been great, man. Like, obviously worked for a few different head coaches, learned from all of them. I had a little taste there myself, which was great. And the assistant coaches too, goalie coaches, Charles Grant, didn't really know him before, went to his wedding this summer, so things like that is really neat, developing the relationships with all the players. It's weird to see the overagers, the 20-year-olds in the league this year, or the 16-year-olds when I started. So kind of seeing them come full circle.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's flown by. I never thought I'd live in Cape Breton, as I've probably said before, but now I can't picture myself anywhere else, honestly.
Do you ever get homesick? I feel like Cape Breton's like that perfect distance where if you ever need to be home, you can get home.
Yeah, exactly. It's close enough that, my friends and family can pop up for, mom and dad usually come up whenever we have a back-to-back on weekends and things like that. And I've always got friends and family, whether they're up there for their kids' hockey or soccer or whatever it is, everybody always knows I'm there, and get to meet up with a few people, that way. And but yeah, it's been and now it's you establish those relationships in town too, with everybody from the cashier at the grocery store to the bartender at Steel City, shout out Steel City, and things like that. So I'm not I don't want to claim to be a Cape Brenner, but I'm getting closer.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing.
Exactly.
Good people skills.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming from East Hants. You already got good people skills. But and I think one of the most rewarding parts of your job, correct me if I'm wrong, is seeing people move on and to do great things. Not just in hockey, but in life and school, whatever it may be, watching people develop. But in terms of yourself, have you seen growth in the past 5 years from when you first started in Cape Breton to now?
100%. I think, getting to work at that level with so many good people, front office, different general managers, and getting to connect with, other coaches around the league and around hockey, and always looking to improve. And I feel, sitting here today, I'm a lot better coach than I was before, the last time I was sitting here to now, and always looking for ways to improve. And somebody said the other day, just when you think you know everything about hockey, you don't know anything. So I think that rings true, and it's always it's always important for us as coaches to make sure we're developing and pushing ourselves, and so that we can do the same thing with the players.
What's one trick that you learned like in the trade to maybe get a point across to a player that maybe you couldn't, like in year one in Cape Breton to now? Like, what are some of the techniques you use to go, okay, look, you messed up that play, but you got another shift here. Let's figure this out. What are some techniques that you learned?
Yeah, I think the big thing is the video. We talk about video every time, but just it's different for different guys. Like some guys will come off the ice after a shift, after messing up, and they'll want to see it on the iPad right away.
Yeah.
And I've learned that some guys that's good for. Like some guys actually, but then other guys want to see it, and you see a trend where they see it and then it keeps happening. So sometimes you're like, no, you're not looking at that, like type thing. Just forget about it. So, learning each guy's kind of, for me specifically with the D, because I'm on the back end, and just knowing each one of those 6 guys in the lineup's personality, whether they want to, whether they want to see it or not, whether it's good or not, to show them type thing. And some guys I'll wait. I'll say, listen, forget about it. We'll look at it in the intermission, and I'll pull them out of the dressing room, and we'll take a quick look at it and talk through it. So things like that, I think I've grown a lot more comfortable with, just identifying triggers for each guy, and being able to kind of make those adjustments on the fly.
I had this conversation with John Greenwood about being the assistant coach and being able to have like personal relationships with players. And when you got named interim head coach, I was wondering, I didn't text you about it, but I was wondering, did you miss, because when you're the head coach, not that you have to be that hard guy, but maybe you can't have that close of a relationship to players because you got to be, a dick every now and then. Maybe when you were in that interim head spot, did you miss maybe that connection with the players on a maybe more personal level, that they can come to you if something's wrong?
Yeah, it was a little different because it was mid-season, and you're kind of in that assistant coach role already. Like I feel like it would be different if you were an assistant coach and then you get named head coach going into the following year. You still have some of those guys and relationships, but it's a fresh start. Where middle of the season, it was tough to for guys to get out the image of assistant coach me, versus and certainly I changed a little bit, but not much, like that's just my personality. Like the relationship thing is huge for me, whether I'm an assistant coach or hopefully one day as a full-time head coach. The relationship side of things is arguably my biggest strength. I feel it's my biggest strength. So I don't want to get away from that. I don't want to try to be something I'm not. I think that's what's made me successful so far, and I think that's something that I'm going to lean on for the rest of my career.
Yeah, I like that. Well said. Yeah. In terms of like the league, of the league like changing over the past couple of years, speed, skill, IQ. I had this conversation with Daryl Young not the other day, like a month ago, about how the game has changed from when you and I used to play till now. He's like, yeah, like the speed is there, the skill's there, but like the hockey sense isn't maybe there from when you and I were there, but the skill and the speed is. What does that mean in the Quebec Maritime Hockey League now?
Yeah, the new league. Yeah, I think certainly the speed and skill is remarkable. Obviously with fighting leaving, it's a little different now. It was a bit of an adjustment period the first month or so, I think. A lot more scrums and guys acting a little tougher than normal because they knew couldn't do anything about it. But I think everybody's kind of settled into it. There's I found like it's not like a overly dirty. There's not a lot of extracurriculars that I think happened before. Like I said, it's still the adjustment period, but it's really shown, I think, the skill involved in the league and the parity in the league too. Like you look at our league this year, 1 through, obviously Baie-Comeau is doing something really spectacular with their record. I think it's tied for the best record after the halfway point ever. I think with the 2013 Mooseheads.
No way.
Yeah, I think I saw that stat on Twitter the other day. But any team still can win on any given night here. Like you look at our conference in particular. From fourth place to 12th place or 8th place, it's pretty tight. So I think you see everybody being able to showcase their skill. The hockey IQ, I still think there's, guys can really carve their niche, find their spot, find their role in this league as a hockey IQ guy. Especially younger guys that haven't developed fully, physically yet. If you can think, you can carve out a spot. Like one name that comes to mind for me, local guy to here, Callum McCoy, playing for us this year, 4th round pick. Still, got to put some weight on and get bigger and stronger. But he's a guy that, wasn't getting in the lineup every game the first bit of the year, but he was a guy when he got in the lineup, he was forcing us to keep him in there. And he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, he doesn't shoot the hardest, but I think he's leading our team in plus minus. He's got 7 or 8 points in 17, 18 games as a 17-year-old rookie, and the biggest part of his game is his hockey IQ and just being able to, it's nice when you tell a guy something once, and then it's like the light bulb clicks for him, and now he's doing it all the time. And now, as he gets older, he's going to be able to continue to progress based on that, and then you add in the speed and the size that's going to come for him.
How old is he?
17.
Oh yeah,
and he's a late birthday too. So his NHL draft's not till next year.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a former Gull and a former Mac. He led the Macs in scoring last year. He was yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're at that age group, or you're coaching that age group, that you get to see that development really go with, with puberty and everything. So like muscles coming in, and imagine seeing Drake Batherson did what he did in junior from game 1 to when he was in Armada. Like imagine being able to be behind the scenes and see that confidence grow.
Yeah.
And then see where he is now. You get to witness that on a day-to-day basis. That's magic, if you ask me. That's crazy.
Seeing Ivan go from a 17-year-old skinny 17-year-old kid from Czech that could barely speak English to, becoming a man with tree trunks for legs and just dominating out there last year as a 20-year-old. That for me is seeing that growth and keeping tabs on him this year. He's having a pretty good year in Colorado. And that kind of speaks to your point of seeing guys come full circle and seeing them go through that growth. And, he's a guy that certainly comes to mind from starting out as a teenager and leaving as a man.
Well, what do you think the biggest hurdle is for guys in major junior hockey of getting to that guy that's putting up 20 points to the guy that's putting up 50 points? Is it the problem of thinking the game too quick but can't act on it? Well, what's the biggest issue from that 20-point guy to the 50-point guy?
Well, I think a lot of it, a big part of that is the age. You see a lot of guys go from, look at Jeremy Minville this year in Gatineau. He scored 2 goals last year as an 18-year-old, and now I think he's got 23, 24 in the first half of this year. You know what I mean? Just that step from it's a little different for the top end guys. Obviously, the young studs are the Catafords and guys like that are going to score. The Cam Squires are going to these guys are scoring 30, 35 goals at 17 years old. Dume, but for your average Quebec League player, that jump from 18 to 19, and even sometimes you see guys make that jump from 19 to 20. Look at Alex Doucette last year. It was always a really solid player, but something finally clicked and figured out at night from that jump from 19 to 20 to go from a 30, 40 point guy to a 100 plus point guy and sign an NHL deal. So I think it's different for everybody, but I think that the like I said, the average everyday Quebec League player, being able to get that experience and then figure out the next step on their own, and sometimes that just takes time, more than anything, more than extra, because everybody's doing extra, the guys are staying on the ice afterwards,
are
working on, for the most part. Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't like that when we were around.
Yeah. But I had to kick guys off the ice sometimes because they want to stay out there all day. Right.
Boys, you got to go to school here. Let's go.
Yeah. But, well, we were practicing in the afternoon, so they were at school before, so they don't have anywhere to go. But yeah, guys are always wanting to stick around and work on their shots or work on specific retrieval skills for D, fast feet, things like that. So, which is great.
100%. That's one thing I wish I was instilled. I wish it was instilled at me at a younger age. I was good, but I didn't think I could get better.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I'm this is as good as it gets, and I'll try, but I'm not gonna, I wish I just had that little That little edge, that little
step outside the comfort zone
Sure,
a little bit.
sure.
Yeah.
You just don't look at the opportunities. I don't know. I don't know. It just wasn't in my cards, I guess. But to be able to see it from young guys, from what you're saying, like you got to force them off the ice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about now.
Yeah.
Like maybe not on the ice, but in here, like that's what I'm about.
That's
you
me.
know.
Me
Sarah's
too,
got to
man.
call me up there. Justin supper. No, I'm working. I love that stuff now.
Yeah.
It's great to see. And like the league is. I went to a Moosehead game the other day, and I'm sitting up, lower bowl, but in the upper part of it, and you see some of this skill that these kids are doing in the neutral zone. I'd be terrified to do a little toe drag in the neutral zone as they move it over to the centerman coming out with full speed with a defender 3 feet from him. You're like, how does he have the balls to make that pass?
Yeah.
You just, in our day, it's dump and change and get to the guy in front of the net. I don't know. It's just incredible, the confidence, I think.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Everybody has, and that's the, when guys are playing with confidence, when you have that much skill and ability and you have that confidence, and I think I heard Biz and Witt talking about it the other day. When you have that confidence, everything comes easy and you feel invincible. And sometimes, and that's the other end of the stick, right? When guys are struggling with their confidence, it's tough to get them back, right away. And that's where, guys go in little ruts and scoreless streaks. Like, Luke Patterson, for us is a
guy.
Yeah, I love Patty too.
We interviewed him when he was in Moncton, like at the Ice Jam, like years ago.
Yeah,
years ago.
Yeah, he's a beauty, and he's a kid that, obviously had a great year at 16. Telus Cup MVP of everything, scored everything, and then had a great start for us last year as a 17-year-old. Was like a point a game through the first 12, 15 games, and then broke his hand and missed a significant amount of time, and that kind of slowed him down a little bit, and he couldn't really get back into the rhythm the second half of the year when he came back. And then coming into this year's his 18 year, he was playing well. He works his butt off every shift. He's hard on pucks. He forechecks hard. He's got skill, but the puck just wasn't going in the net for him, right? Like I don't think he had a point in the first 18 or 19 games. Had a couple goals called back on like millimeter offsides and things like that. But he stuck with it. You know what I mean? He stuck with it, and now he finished, I think he had 10 or 12 points in the last 10 or 12 games before.
Boy.
So, he finished, we played this weekend. He's finishing on our first line with Squires and Burbage and scored a huge goal for us in Charlottetown and in Moncton. And but those are the kinds of things, the stick with itness is great to see him get rewarded. And I know, I think if anybody didn't want to get to that Christmas break for us, it was probably him, because the stick's really hot right now. And, But expecting him to come back and keep doing those things in the second half.
Talking about confidence, did you hear McKinnon's quote yesterday?
No.
How he feels like the game is really slow for him right now. That was a really cool quote, and how he described how he's playing. He goes, to be honest, I'm just thinking very clear, and the game feels very slow right now. I think it was like 17 points in the past 10, 13 games, something like that. The games I'm not watching the games, I'm watching the highlights, but just really cool quote in terms of confidence.
Yeah.
Just the game is slow. It's not that difficult to him. Just a rare state of mind to be able to flow through a game of hockey. It's fun to watch.
It's exactly like, the guys in baseball, you talk about, the ball's coming in the size of a watermelon. You can't miss it, right? And obviously when a guy like Nate gets on in that kind of mind frame, then look out, everybody else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true at the junior level too. Like sometimes guys just get in that headspace of, okay, like, and you just know before the game that they're going to put up, 3 points and do all the right things. But yeah, no, that's a really cool quote.
Yeah, really cool. Hockey's a weird one. I don't know about you, but in warm-up, I knew if I was going to have a good game or a bad game. I could prepare the same way, eat the same thing, take the same nap, but I just knew in warm-up if it was going to be a couple-goal night or if it was just going to be an okay night. I just knew. It was weird. It was just a out-of-body thing.
Yeah.
You could just, if you play long enough, you know yourself in terms of like an athletic standpoint.
I just don't feel great tonight. Like I don't got it tonight. Like
yeah.
I'm gonna have to chip a few more pucks tonight.
Yeah, but that's the difference. I think guys that like know that, they're like, oh man, I don't know if this is the night. So you got to find a different way to make an impact. And I think that's the difference between the guys we're talking about that, can make a career out of it and can't.
Yeah. They know. What are you doing for the team when you're at your worst? Like, Can you still be a contributor? Can you still, get something done when you're not feeling 100%?
Yeah. I don't know too much about the World Junior team this year. I was wondering if you could enlighten myself and the viewers if you know like guys on the team and how you think they're going to match up against other teams.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. I don't believe I haven't looked into it, but I don't think that there's ever been 4 Q defensemen on the World Junior team, which is pretty cool. The whole back end, with Rousseau, St. Hilaire, Luno, Warren, Furlong, and who else? From the hold on, Luno, Warren, Furlong. Oh, Lamoureux. Lamoureux, the big guy. So that's pretty cool. I don't know too much, honestly, about the Western League guys, and I from what I've heard and from what the scouts have told me and things like that, like it's US's tournament to lose.
Oh yeah,
like I think they're a pretty big powerhouse.
Okay.
Cutter Gauthier and all these guys. Like, I think Canada's going to be right there though, and especially getting Poitras back from Boston. That just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he'll help a lot. But listen, I've faced Mathis Rousseau enough to know that if he's in the net, they've got a chance to win every game.
Yeah.
So no matter who they're playing, but yeah, no, I think it'll be exciting. I think it's always fun to watch the World Juniors and see some guys, and I'm excited to watch Celebrini. And see what he's all about. And
did you hear some of the things they were saying about him when he was here for the BioSteel camp? Like apparently he wasn't allowed on the ice with the players during like the practices or something, so he would have to go on afterwards. And apparently just 2-3 hours by himself shooting pucks.
Yeah,
just same thing. Boy, they'd have to kick him off. Like, you're ruining the ice. You got to get off here. Yeah. Just obsessed. Like guys that were just lingering around HRM4 pad, they would just watch him and you just one spot, shoot pucks. No one's feeding him. He's just just obsessed.
Yeah.
And apparently in the game, he stood out. Like, he was with the guys. He didn't look like he didn't belong. Yeah. Apparently he was just he was there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You see how electric, Bedard was last year. Is it going to be similar type performance by Celebrini? And I've never seen the kid play live, but all signs point to him being pretty dang good.
Where's he from?
Ontario.
He sounds about right.
Yeah, but he plays in the States. Yeah,
he plays for BU. Yeah. You see his chin guard? They're making him wear of cage. It's out to here. It's just out here. And we'll see. You go fishbowl.
Speaking of that, it was weird last night watching. It was my first live junior A game this year since they brought in Truro, and seeing half the guys wearing cages was a weird sight.
Oh, they have.
So the CJHL, like the junior A in Canada, brought it in this year. So 19 and 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's being grandfathered in basically. So all the 19 and 20s are still wearing visors, and everybody else is wearing full cages. So it's just weird seeing half and half. It's one thing to have all cages or all visors, but it was weird seeing half and half.
I don't want to get into that. What are you supposed to do when you get to the next level and everyone's wearing a visor? It's not like it makes that much of a difference, but
yeah.
It's a badge of honor. You get a little cut. I already ranted about that. I love a little cut. I played hockey. I got a little chipped tooth.
Yeah,
badge of honor.
Exactly.
I love a badge of honor.
Exactly.
Buddy goes, "Can you fix my tooth right away when I got it chipped out?" I said, "No, I'm going to walk around for a bit. Badge of honor. Don't fix me up quite yet." No one knows I'm a hockey player. I love it. Do you have to wear a neck guard in the queue?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see Furk? Oh, it was a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a little off balance. His feet shouldn't have been up, but it was a weird one.
Yeah.
At 5 games you sent me? Yeah, 5 games, but
yeah,
can't mess around with that now.
That's and even before, the unfortunate incident that happened overseas, that's one thing that whenever I go out with minor hockey teams and things like that, whether it's in Sydney, whether it's in East Hants, I really feel coaches need to stress the importance of the neck guards at the minor hockey level. I'm like, boys, the guys on our team are wearing neck guards every practice, every game. It's not uncool to wear a neck guard. You got to wear a neck guard, and that's one thing that if any minor hockey coach is listening, I think it's probably a little more prevalent now. But even before, make sure the kids are wearing neck guards and mouth guards. Our guys had to wear mouth guards too every practice, every game. So. I think that's super important, and just something I wanted to touch on.
Did you watch the Mooseheads behind the scenes thing, that first episode? Did you see that?
No.
Midge was in it, and it was at training camp, and one of his speeches to the team, like right as it started, he goes, "Boys, I hate cool hockey. If you are out there and your chin strap is up, you know it's supposed to be up. Do it up. If you don't have a mouth guard in, you know you're supposed to have a mouth guard in, have a mouth guard in." And I love how he said, "I hate cool hockey." And I know what he meant, but I love that quote. I hate cool hockey. And that's exactly what that is. The chin strap out, like, you know, were you at that Pittsburgh game when Sid was here?
No.
When he got the standing O, it was right before O Canada, and all the boys, they had their helmet off and everything. That's fine, right before O Canada. But Sid, no. It's up. It wasn't loose. It was done right up, and that's Sid. It's not cool hockey. That's just Sid, and I just love that.
That's Sid.
That's Sid. He's doing it up. He does the chin strap, general, like he's a leader.
Yeah.
But no, it's a big issue with gear right now in hockey. And I get it. It is uncomfortable, the neck guard, but it's your life. If you got guys in the NHL wearing it, you can wear it in junior.
Exactly. And you can wear it in minor hockey.
I can't believe you even brought up minor hockey. I just assumed there's kids not wearing it in minor hockey.
Yeah, like I'll see, like, even if I'm just at a rink where a practice is going on, I'll notice some of the kids not wearing neck guards and things like that. I just think
that's on the parents.
Well, it's on, and the coaches.
And the coaches, for sure.
Yeah, so that's one of my grinds my gears is when I see, minor hockey guys out there skating around with no neck guards on. Like, I went out for a minor hockey practice in Sydney earlier this year, and I sent a kid off the ice to go get his neck guard on. I was like, man, you're not staying out here without a neck guard. Like, but anyway, that's.
How's the new Gatineau rink?
It is sick.
So it's the real deal. It's not.
It's sick. Like, it's as good as junior rink as you're gonna find. Like, built, for junior. The visitor setup is really good. I haven't seen their setup myself, but obviously Louis, like my head coach now, was the GM head coach in Gatineau before, and he had a lot to do with the design and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed me some videos and pictures and stuff from when when he was there, and it's a really, really good setup. And just like the inside of it, like, it's big but not too big. The crowd, everybody's on top of you, but it's really nice. Like, they did it right, for sure.
I like the seats how they're black.
Yeah,
like, it just looks, from the pictures at least, it looks great.
Yeah, and like they've got the natural lighting up top too that they can close, which are for afternoon games. But like, we're doing our morning skate there. They've got it open, just a cool vibe. Like, the boxes are nice, but it's like still close
on top of it.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's a really loud rink. They do really good with the DJ, with the music, with it's an atmosphere that's fun for hockey fans, or fun for your casual fans that want to go have a good time on a Friday night. Like, I feel like that's an event to go to in Gatineau, rather than just strictly hockey fans.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine right now. I heard Baie-Comeau is one of the harder rinks to play in the league, but now them having one of the better teams in the league, I couldn't imagine a road trip to Baie-Comeau right now.
Yeah,
that must be hell.
We've got one coming up in the second half there,
sorry about that.
But no, it's a tough barn to play in at the worst of times, but especially this year. Well, it'll be. I personally find Rimouski is the hardest a barn to play in for visitors. I just find like it's a pretty hostile environment in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun playing there as a visitor, but I find it's tough. Like,
it's
really loud.
Like the fan,
yeah, the fans, like, there's no there's no back to our bench. Like, it's just like this little
like old school, like,
yeah, like the fans
like
are
Patty Waugh when he says the coach, I'm done in Montreal. The fans are right there.
There's nothing separating us and the fans in Rimouski, right? And but just, it's super loud in there. They've got the smoke, the smoke guns going off after every goal. It's there's a lot of history in that building, obviously. They'll do a really good job with the Mem Cup too. I don't know if you wanted to get into that, but
no, I'd love to.
They'll do a really good job. It's a bit. Did you ever go to Rimouski? Did you ever play in Rimouski?
Nope, never played there.
So it's a decent sized city. Like, it's got everything you need, and like I said, the rink, and I think they've got some money to put in some upgrades, obviously for the cup and everything. But I think that'll be an electric barn for the Mem Cup next year.
That's exciting,
Yeah.
especially if you're saying the fans are right behind the coaches. That could make for some good TV.
That might be one of the
upgrades
the
I want.
upgrades they make.
You got people pickpocketing you. You're trying to coach, reaching for your wallet.
Put a bench in there.
No, I've never been to. When Sid retired, I was gonna go to Rimouski and drive, but this was back when I didn't even have a phone, so I didn't even have like my GPS on my phone, so I didn't know how to drive there. I wasn't using a map, so I was gonna go, but never did. But I'd love to get there one day. What's the drive? 14 hours? Must be around there.
No, not even.
10?
It's about 2.5 hours past Bathurst. So,
that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's for us it's a little longer, but like it'd be, I don't know, 9 or 10 hours from here probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm fuck the Mem Cup. It's a special place in my heart. I don't know why. Just love it.
Yeah.
Just a fun time. And it goes into the summer too. It's
Yeah.
fun like golfing, then
Yeah.
coming home and watching a Mem Cup game. Just a good time.
Yeah. So hopefully we can make a push and try to get there too, and with the like to see us get to a Mem Cup in Cape Breton here sooner than later.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah.
Keep your couch open. I call it dibs right away. I'm sure you already got other family members, but whatever. How's your brother doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's I went to the game with him last night. Him and my old man. He's loving life in West Kent.
Is he?
Yeah. They've got a good squad, man. They're top 20 in the country.
No way.
Yeah.
They got a nice barn up there. We
Yeah.
stream up there, and
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah. So he really enjoys it. He's liking getting his feet wet in the junior side. I obviously we're in touch, a couple times a week, and talking systems and what are we doing, what are they doing, and what's working, and it's really cool to have my brother that I can lean on in the same industry, same business.
Yeah.
And, he does their power play. I do our penalty kill. So we're always kind of, what's working for other teams' PKs against you, what's working for power plays against us, like stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And, he's doing great. Him and Ollie are doing a great job there in West Kent. And, he's living the dream.
I remember when, I don't know where we were. You guys might have been in PEI, and Dudes and I were there for a tournament, and we had a couple beers, and you guys were talking in the basement, but like you guys were talking like systems while we're watching a game, and you guys were debating things. And I was like, man, you guys are the biggest hockey nerds ever. But it was enjoyable to listen to you guys debate about, a system. It means nothing, but to you guys, it means the world. And we're watching like an NHL game. You're like, no, he should have went here. Oh no, he should do this. And I don't know. It's just, I enjoy listening to hockey brains, especially someone that consumes it for their entire life. It's just, I just love it.
Yeah, that's you need to be a hockey nerd to be successful, I think, and you got to watch everything. You got to talk to everybody. It's There's no that's the big thing. I like. You're never gonna figure it out on your own. Nobody's gonna reinvent the game of hockey. It's slowly things change, but it's from I talk to you, and then I take a piece of what you're doing, add it to what I'm doing, and then somebody talks to me, takes a piece of that, and adds it to what they're doing, and it's pretty cool that way.
Yeah, I kind of wish they were like, not that I have anything against the NHL, but like the coach, like Martin in Ottawa, it's like that's great, but like I wish there was a little fresh blood, It's an old boys club in a sense like that in terms of like the coaching side, but like I do wish every now and then they would bring up some guys from the A that are younger and a little new blood.
And teams have started to do that. And I think Ottawa will. I think this was just a temporary. Like I don't think he's gonna be the long-term answer there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but you look at it is starting to become more of a trend that American League guys are getting shots. What's his name? Greg Cronin, who was grinded it out in the American League for a long time. He's now the head coach in Anaheim.
Yeah.
What's his name there in Edmonton that got hired?
Knobloch. I was just about to say.
He's an Edmonton fan.
Knobloch. Yeah, one of my best buddies is a diehard Edmonton fan too, so we can get into that a little bit if you want.
No, we're not getting it.
But
I listen to it all day from him.
But Knobloch. So yeah, I think I still think you're gonna see some recycling, but like I think to an extent, experience is something that a lot of teams are, and especially a team like Ottawa right now with the just stabilizing that ship, maybe a little bit, because they do have a good team. Like, I got to see them a little bit in the preseason. Like they played.
God.
Yeah.
They dominated Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So
they looked great.
Yeah, and sometimes like you, and as much as people want to bash analytics and things like that, you look at goals scored above expectation versus goals scored below expectation, and like Edmonton is like by far the worst in the league on they've created a lot more than they've scored. But like you look at that and sometimes the pucks just don't go in, or the pucks you get some bad bounce the other way and pucks find their way in, and I think that's a little bit what's happening in Ottawa, and it's just kind of snowballed to the point where from everything I've been told and heard and read, the guys love DJ and love playing for DJ, and I don't think they wanted to, but I think it just got to the point where something needed to happen.
Just in terms of the fans, like you got to look. We're trying. We're going to do something up. Sometimes the coach has to take the fall. Most times the coach has to take the fall.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a stat this morning that there's only 6 coaches left who were with their team in the 2019-20 season.
Stop.
Yeah, it's like Cooper, Sullivan,
Pittsburgh,
and then you were getting into like Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah,
he's like the 5th longest serving head coach
now
in the league, like with the same team, which is it's crazy to me.
In a market like that, that's a feather in his cap.
But still, it's only 4 years. Like think about that. Like like. Coaches are hired to get fired a lot, and that's everybody understands that. We all know that. We all get that's part of the business, but and that's why you take a look at a guy like John Cooper. Why has he been so successful for 10 years? And Mike Sullivan too. I mean, they both have elite players on their roster, but I think they're both elite
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cooper's post-game interviews or pre-game interviews, whatever. Anytime the guy talks, it's just pure passion coming out of his mouth. You don't even think he's a hockey coach. He's just like a mentor.
Yeah.
It's pure passion. It's fun to, especially in playoffs.
Yeah.
I know some of the players don't like those cameras in the room and during playoffs at pregame, but man, those cameras capture some really cool moments from Cooper.
Yeah.
Just pure. You use the word general again. I don't know. He just connects to his players. He's a guy who you want to go through a wall for.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not a lot of guys in this world that I want to go through a wall for, but that's just one of those guys. I never even met him.
Yeah.
It's just not, you can't explain it. It's just you got that personality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's definitely the guy I look up to the most and try to read as much about him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's another guy like me that didn't play the game at a super high level, and just is a relationship first guy and things like that. And I don't know him, but I know like Chad Cassidy that I worked for a bit there here in Cape Breton. Like they're pretty tight, and like Derek Lalonde and those guys. So I would always kind of try to pick Cass's brain about Coop and Newsy, they call him, and things like that. Like just guys that have grinded it out, found their way, and didn't play in the NHL, which is obviously more coaches than not. Were pretty established NHLers and things like that, but or at least American leaguers. But yeah, those are why those are kind of guys I look up to.
I remember when we went to the NHL draft in Vancouver, and we got lucky enough to be in the same hotel as all the coaches and players and stuff. And there was a lot of like Q coaches that went to this.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Yeah, it's like it's basically personal development.
Okay,
it's like,
sure.
It's like yeah.
That would be a great opportunity to somehow like meet him, shake his hand, just say hello.
Yeah, I'm fully planning on going. I was supposed to go in Nashville last year, but had my buddy's bachelor party going on the same time.
Where was it?
Well, I was in Florida. I didn't get to go, but I did miss it.
That's
a
you
whole
did
other
miss
story. Yeah, Air Canada. If you're listening, the flights were just a mess.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
You missed your buddy's bachelor because of Air Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, really hoping to get to Vegas.
Is that where it is this year?
The draft's in Vegas, and get to the coaching course and things like that. And obviously with us, we have two prospects that'll be getting drafted, so get to be there to support them too. This draft. So plus it's Vegas. I've never been, so.
No, me neither.
And it's in the Sphere, the draft.
What does that mean?
Like,
the
yeah.
The big the ball.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I know. You guys should go.
Vegas.
Vegas. High Button does Vegas.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The Sphere, that thing looks sick. They're doing the draft in there.
Yeah, I'm
so you
pretty
can
sure.
fit like 10, 20,000
I
in
think
there?
so, yeah.
Yeah, see, now you got the brain going. What month is it? June?
June, yeah. It's
Imagine,
end
right,
of June.
right after the meltdown, just head right there.
Boys, I'm telling you.
Vegas.
So yeah, I'm planning on being there this June.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. Just that was my first. That was when we went. Like I was 20 through 20, 25. I was young, and just like I was there not to get ahead. I was just there to party and try to interview some people outside the draft. And my buddy was there for business from Nova Scotia, and he just happened to be in the same hotel as the NHL draft people, so he let us like sleep on his floor.
Yeah.
But I just remember walking into that hotel lobby for the first time and just seeing like the professionalism. Like you see all these NHL coaches, you even see some of these 17, 18-year-old kids getting ready for the draft, and it was the first time just seeing behind the scenes professionalism in that lobby. And it wasn't like a huge eye opener, but you think back on those moments and you go, well, those are the guys who are doing okay in life because they take their craft so serious. And me, I'm showing up in the lobby like back then, a little hungover, a little, not focused. But you think of those moments from back then, and you go, man, those are the pros. Even though they're 18 years old, they're still pros. Oh, and it was a cool. I'll never forget that draft. It was a very big eye-opening experience for myself and dudes as well, just to see how the other side acts and takes their craft serious. Very cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, and I'm, like I said, super excited to have a few of our guys kind of experience that too, and both of our prospects are, like you said, they're pros. They carry themselves like pros already. 17 years old, and especially like our goalie Malota, the first year guy coming from Czech, took Canada to the overtime in the gold medal game this past summer in the Ivan Holinka. Struggled a little bit out of the gate, just first 3 or 4 games, and ever since he's been lights out. Like he's top 5 in the league and save percentage, goals against average, shutouts, everything as a 17-year-old rookie.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I just love it. Like going back to the start, you get to see it.
Yeah.
It is cool seeing it on ice, but everyone gets to see it on ice. You get to see it from behind the scenes. You get to see the maturity grow behind the scenes. That's just a rare look into the world of hockey.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick. Hence why I think I like behind the scenes content.
Yeah, I think we'll have some behind the scenes content coming out here soon.
Shout out to Brad. Yeah. A little bugger had to leave us.
Big Brad.
He's doing well though.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He was a great ad for us. A
little too good.
Yeah, he's. We've added a few guys actually in the front office. Joey Haddad. On the business side, he's been lights out. Great for us. With him and Nick McGilvery too. We hired him as our new game day guy this year, and with Brad, they've been doing a great job for us off the ice. And I think that helps the players too. The players love that stuff. They like being involved in these quirky little videos and things like that, and getting to share it on their own Instagram and all that stuff, and that makes the mood more enjoyable for them on a daily basis. Like it's not just okay, come to the rink, practice, go to school. Like, hey, there's something else going on here too. Like I'm part of a overall bigger organization here, and I think it's been great for us.
Yeah, it's definitely changed from in that aspect of having a little bit more of a fun environment, not just all work, serious, put the puck in the net, go home, sleep, eat, come back to the rink, do it again. It's definitely adjusted to like people's lifestyles a little bit better, I think, looking from the outside in.
And especially, for a team that travels as much as we do and spends as much time on the road, like as we do, like when we're home for those stints, like a week here, a week there, just to have a little bit of fun away from away from on the ice, not even necessarily away from the rink, but just away from on the ice is huge for them.
100%.
Yeah.
What's speaking of like on the road, what's the schedule look like right after Christmas break? Are you guys at home or are you guys on the way?
Yeah, so we finished, whenever we like finish on the road before Christmas, we always start at home after. You know what I mean? So if you've
I got
so yeah, we play, so guys will be getting back in on the 27th. We're going to practice
at East Ants.
No. That was because we started in Halifax.
That was such a fun day.
Oh, that was great. I can't believe that was like almost 5 years ago. But I actually took another puck off the shin this year. Tough, but
That was like the first 30 seconds of the video.
Yeah, brand new player too. Like,
well, was it?
Yeah, we just picked him up at the trades and stuff. But so we start in St. John or against St. John on the 28th in Sydney, and then we've got the Hurley Cup after that.
What's the Hurley Cup?
You know, us in Halifax. The
oh,
30th,
sorry.
31st,
It's right,
Battle of Nova Scotia.
Yeah, they're right behind you there.
Yeah. There you go. That jersey.
That's such a fun game.
Oh, I know.
And it's fun because some guys get to squeeze in there that aren't usually on the team because the World Junior guys are gone. That's the only. I was there because Ferk was gone.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. So like,
it's fun.
They'll be missing their 3 guys, right? So there's some guys might be able to get in. And
there's some local guys like Welsh is on the moose right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Welsh and we've got a couple other guys, Mackenzie and yeah. So we play in Sydney on the 30th at 3:00. And then both teams will be getting on their bus coming to Halifax as we play 2:00 the next day. So we'll leave right after the game in Sydney, stay in Halifax, get up, play, and then head back. And then we head to Quebec right after that. On the 2nd of January, we head to Quebec. We play Shawinigan, Quebec, Victo, 3-3. So it's pretty right back into it, right? Like,
yeah.
I think that'll be 6 games in less than 2 weeks, right off the hop, right back out of Christmas.
Luke's probably still in Cape Breton, just on the ice, just waiting. He doesn't want to take his gear off,
probably.
Exactly. If he's hot right now,
exactly.
He just wants to get her going.
Yeah. So, that plus obviously the trade deadline is coming up, and some moves were made already, but it's been pretty quiet so far, especially for the Q. But I think that makes sense. Because I was talking about before, the parity in the league is really good, and there's. Like, even though Baie-Comeau is, like I said, setting records right now with their first half, I still think there's some other teams that still feel like they can give them a run.
I saw, you don't have to answer this, but I saw something on Twitter the other day, like Halifax Moose had Jordan Dumais not for long. Is there anything to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
There was like 80 likes on it, so I was like, oh, maybe this guy's legit who tweeted it out.
No, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
Because they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Why would they?
I mean, they have arguably, they have the best goaltender in the league. They have arguably the best D-core in the league, 1 through 6, I would say, like one of the top 2 or 3 anyway. And you got the defending leading point scorer in the league too. So, I mean, that's a pretty good recipe to. I mean, they're probably going to make a few moves just like anybody else. It'd be tough to go find another Lawrence Doucette combo just because I don't think that exists. Like this year, there's a lot of big names traded last year, which is, you don't see that every single year. Riley Kidney, Melanson, like all these guys getting moved to Doucette, Lawrence. So there'll be some movement, I think. I mean, that's a little above my pay grade in terms of like knowing what's going on, but I'm going to coach whoever they give me. But I think you'll see our team stay pretty much the same. Like, our core is still very young. Like the Squires, the Burbage, the Pattersons, the Daggs, the Lavois. These guys are all 18 and younger. Shields. So we've got a really good core of those 05s, 06s, and Malota, throw him in there, and then Aucoin, and we've got a really good balance of, some older veterans like, the Cam McDonalds, Zach Biggers, Connor Shortalls that have been in the league for a long time and are good players. And then, that bridging that gap to our younger guys. But even our younger guys like Squires and these guys, it's their 3rd year in the league. Yeah. So they're still young, like physically, but they, like I said, Squires is a 30 goal scorer at 17, and he had a pretty solid first half again this year too. So
yeah. Well, do you mind talking about that? Like how he battled back?
Squires?
Yeah.
From?
Or no, who had cancer?
Oh, no, that's Newcomb.
Oh, Newcomb. My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, behind the scenes from that aspect.
Yeah.
Was it?
For us, like, Nuke, for example, like, the boys call him Sid. Like, what? Because he just carries him, like, everything you described about Sidney Crosby, about how he carries himself, how he treats the game, how he treats life. That's Nuke. Like he's from just down the road here, right? He's a Sambro guy.
Is he?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a top-notch human being. He's always taking care of his body, his strength, knowing what's going in his body, and
It's always those guys, the guys that like take care and like they put, and then something like that happens.
Yeah, it's super, obviously pretty devastating news for him and his family, and I don't want to get into it too much because I know, respect their privacy, and for us, it was kind of a rallying cry. Like you can see here, like we're all wearing these, like got these made kind of right away, and been staying in touch with them throughout, not over flooding them, but making sure we're all staying in touch, and it's been pretty incredible to see him to beat it and keep his weight up and keep his his mind good, and he's been staying on the ice some with Jill and with the Max here and there, and I think with Smew too. So it's been awesome to see him beat this thing, and we're hoping. I mean, still not sure about a timeline of return and things like that. But he's come on a couple. He's came on a couple trips with us. Like he was with us this last trip before Christmas. Skated with us our team morning skate in Charlottetown, and then skated with me by himself on the Saturday morning in Moncton, and just to have him back around the team some and things like that. It's been a big boost for us and our guys and everybody. Like, he's just a born leader. Like he's not a big rah guy. He's just one of those guys that does everything right, and if you're not doing something right around him, you're feeling bad about it, and you're like, okay, I can't do this. You know what I mean? Like he just commands that type of respect and from his teammates, and hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully we get him back, whether it's some point through this season or next season. We're looking forward to getting him back in the lineup because he's a heck of a player too.
Situations like that must bring a team together.
Yeah.
It just makes you want to work harder for the next guy to your on the bench. You just I don't know.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. Like if you're and we didn't even have to say this. Like the guys just know. Like if you're feeling, I don't really feel like going tonight, or I'm not. Yeah. Like okay, what would Nuke do to be in your situation right now, ready to play? You know what I mean? And that's a big reason why we're happy with the way we played for the first half of the year, and I don't think we took a lot of nights off. We obviously didn't win as many games we would have liked, but I don't think it was from lack of effort or lack of grit or determination, because in the back of everybody's mind is like Nuke would do anything to be in my shoes right now, ready to get out there on the ice with us, right? Type thing. So, but yeah, Nuke's the man, and I love the kid to death, and looking forward to having him back in the lineup.
That's great. I didn't know he was right from down the road.
Yeah.
Awesome. How much time are we at right now?
55.
55. You're just a pure talker. I love it. 55 minutes flies by. I always love getting advice from hockey brains, but it depends on the age group. I got to ask. Let's go U16. Let's go major midget. Right before junior, right before college, whatever route you decide to choose, excuse me. What's the advice, I guess, in terms of making the next step? You're 16 going into junior, you're probably not going to be that top guy. Well, what's your advice to that person maybe making that leap and trying to make an impact on their team, whatever, if it's junior, college, whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think it's first and foremost, separate yourself in some way from everybody else, whether that's being the first one in line and knowing every drill that's going on and paying attention like that. Those are things that not being an ass kisser, or anything like that, just being prepared and showing that you're prepared and you're ready to listen and things like that. Doing things that a lot of people don't like. Some people do it. Most people don't, like going to the net, honestly, it's tough to get guys to go to the net on a consistent basis these days. Like, you want to score goals, like, go.
Watch Brendan Gallagher.
Yeah, exactly. And just things like that. I think, whether you can, everybody can toe drag, everybody can, skate pretty well now. Everybody's the difference is not that big. It's finding the things that can separate you in the smaller ways that make the biggest impact, I think.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Be
sense.
Visual, watch first and then act.
Yeah.
See what the team's missing.
Exactly. And just be prepared to step outside your comfort zone a little bit if you need to, right? Like, I think attack your weaknesses in the off season, I think is huge. You're say you're like you said that you're playing U18, you have a pretty good year in U18, and you're drafted. Say you're a 7th, 8th round pick, right? Okay, what got you drafted? Okay, is it because you put up a lot of points and you can play offensively, but your defensive game maybe isn't great, or your wall play isn't great, or did you get drafted because you can skate and you're big, but you're lacking some goal scoring? Well, okay, what got you drafted? Sure. Now, what do you need to do to improve the other side of things? Attack that in the summer, right? Like if you're good with your puck skills, well, work on your wall play in the summer, right? If you're good at your wall play, well, work on your puck skills a little more in the summer. I think that's a lot of kids want to keep getting better at what they're already good at, which is fine, right? I'm not saying don't work on that, but I think the biggest thing to make that jump is being able to attack and improve your weaknesses.
Yeah. When you look at the NHL, you don't see any guys that don't pretty much have an all-around game. Like most guys are pretty responsible defensively, pretty skilled offensively, not going to turn the puck over too much. You don't see too much one way, not the other.
Yeah, and then like that's the kind of like going back to what we're working on after practice, like we're attacking guys' weaknesses after practice.
Oh yeah?
Like, and that's
like individually?
Yeah. So like, one of our defensemen, we're doing individual video clips, weekly or whatever. And one area he kept struggling with, a very specific area, but the kind of like the retrievals, the bump back strong side on his backhand. Okay. So he's going back to get a puck, and he's got pressure, and he's good at, absorbing the contact, but he was just not able to consistently execute that backhand.
Like, are you talking about the guy coming below him with the speed? Like, bump back? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, okay,
So, we looked at a couple pieces of video. We looked at some NHL clips of the same type of plays, and his top hand was his bottom hand was a little too high on these, and that's why he wasn't, he's kind of getting it off the toe a lot.
Yeah.
And so after practice, what do you think? We're just doing 25, 30 of those, no pressure, and then I pressure him a little bit and just working on the bump backs, like something very, very
simple,
small and simple, but something that translates big time into a game because, he goes back and doesn't execute that in a game, and they turn the puck over, puck's in the back of the net, even if it's 30 seconds later, right? We don't execute that breakout. Okay, nobody remembers that play, but they have it in the O-zone for a little bit. They kick it out. Maybe that goal doesn't end up being his fault, but because we didn't execute the breakout, that's why the puck's still in our end. And that's a big thing that we try to keep pushing on our guys is every action has a reaction, right? Like we get these good offensive chances because we play good defense, right? You can't just do nothing in the D zone and hope for a break the other way. Like all of our grade A good offensive chances come from playing good defense, whether that's in our D zone or whether it's in the neutral zone, whether it's on the forecheck. That's a big thing.
I always find NHL preseason, you can really find out who's in the NHL and who's going down to the A. It's such an exposed time of year where you can just clearly tell. I think that there's a huge difference between a full-time NHLer and a guy that's up and down. Huge. Night and day. Not even close. It's just not even a conversation. It's just, but you can only really watch during preseason.
Yeah.
Because you can see these guys get exposed, and they're great players. But man, the NHL's another beast.
Exactly.
Holy smokes.
Well, like you look at, I was at the Florida-Ottawa game in Sydney the night before they came and played here. And Ryan Lomberg, who's a good fourth liner for Florida, was clearly Florida's best player, playing that game.
Yeah.
And so here's a guy that's like I said, a fourth liner in the NHL, which is great, but just to your point, he's by far the best player playing in that game for Florida.
Yeah. And night and day.
Ottawa obviously had a few bigger dogs playing just because of Drake's playing and things like that. But Lomberg is, when you started talking about that, that's exactly what I thought about, because it's a huge jump, and you can tell too, the young guys with the skill, obviously having coached Noss, Evan Noss, he was playing in that game too, so I was watching him the whole time he was out there, and you can tell that his skill set and his skating is going to translate to the NHL level. He just needs those reps in the American League, and 99% of guys do, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's a great league, the A. You see a lot of great players come from it.
Oh, man.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Most players, excuse me.
Yeah.
Ants, I got to let you go.
Yes,
you are
sir.
the man. Thank you very much for coming on. I look forward to watching you in the new year. Who's calling me right now?
John Sam. He's got his 2 line
I
going
should
on,
answer.
eh?
No, I'll let it be. What's that? Yeah, that's what he's calling me about.
Yeah.
I
got a little camp going on Thursday, too. East Ants.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in East Ants. Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah, just a 1-day thing. Yeah.
The 21st?
Yeah.
What time?
All
like
day.
all day?
Yeah, I got U7, U9, U11, U13. Me and Cody and all Braden Schmidt that plays for us from Trio. He's coming out too. So Gilly.
Nice.
So if anybody's listening, I still got a couple spots. So
there you go. Promote the hell out of it. All right, Ants, you're the man. Once again, tell the family I said hello as well, please.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Like I said, we'll be seeing you in the new year.
Okay, buddy.
All right, everyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll say it again and again and again. We're nowhere without the listeners and the viewers. So thank you very much. We're out. Happy holidays, everyone. Peace. Bye.